What's up, cousins?
What it do, baby boo?
And we're back with another episode of
Like We in the House.
So this week's episode will be all things ballroom. Now, we've talked about ballroom here and there in previous episodes, but today we dedicate everything to teach you all we know about the culture that is ballroom. So how did you discover ballroom?
I discovered ballroom from UB. We had to do outreach that night at Marty's Live, and I think it was the tourist ball. And so that was my very first ball I ever been to. And from there was the birth of ballroom.
Was that technically the first ball that you ever been to, or was that the first ball that you ever walked?
That's the first ball I ever been to. First ball I ever walked was a music video ball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
My first ball that I ever attended was the Harajuku Ball in Houston at Club 2020. The first ball I ever walked, it was like a mini ball that they had at this club called True Colors. And I was actually on show. And then they had I think 2 categories. And performance was the last category they did, and I ended up walking. So, and that was probably I made the last battle. Probably shouldn't have, but you know.
It gave virgin performance.
I didn't know nothing.
Do you have
I
the
just
clip?
got out there. The clip is probably somewhere floating around. I look hard enough for it.
Somebody find that.
Yeah, it was a good time. So what, when you went to your first ball, what was it about what you saw or what went on that made you be like, yeah?
I think just seeing how the different houses came together and really.
How did she even know the different houses came together and know shit that was going on?
I mean, you could see that people are together. It looked like teams, whatever it was at that time. To me, you could tell there was unison, with different individuals or with certain individuals. So once I picked up on that, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. So then after that, just seeing different categories. So the different categories of everything also. So runway, and then when it got to performance, that's when I was like, oh, it goes down for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was what was your favorite moment of ballroom so far?
My favorite moment in ballroom so far? Personally, the birth of Sally. I think that is my favorite. That is my favorite thing in ballroom so far. For me, using my I statement.
Okay.
What about you?
So no touching, remember? Boundaries. I don't know. It's been so much honestly, when I never would have thought, when I think back to the first time I ever was around that night at 2020, I vividly remember reading the fuck out of ballroom. What's going on? Why is it taking so long? I'm ready to throw more counts. I need to wrap this up.
You was a club?
Yeah, I was the J Sitter girl. That was my time, my era. And so, after that night at True Colors, I never forget, because after that we went to Arkansas, and then we spent a month there, and we came back, and then it was the Lamel's No Bullshit Jingle Ball was the first big major ball that I had walked. So I don't know what it was about that night at True Colors, but it really just, I guess, gave me the spark that I needed to really take it on seriously.
So did you know performance was gonna be the category for you at first?
It only made sense. I'm a dancer, so it's what else would I do?
I didn't feel that way. I knew I wanted to do performance, but I didn't know if I wanted to necessarily dip at that time. I didn't know how to dip, so I thought that was a big thing within ballroom. So I was I'll just stick to runway. And then I got chopped the very first time, but they brought me back. Hey,
what ball was this?
The music video ball.
They chopped you at Marty's?
It was an OTY ball.
Who chopped you?
JoJo, the legend.
Bodega?
Mm-hmm.
You got something you want to say?
No.
We'll save it.
We won that night, so.
Who was we?
Me and Santa, we took it as grand prize as a house.
Did Santa win and you?
No, I processed 2 people that night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did your big one. So, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions for the icon.
I don't.
Oh,
No,
you don't want to talk to Icon?
I don't want to talk to him today. He hung up on me the last time I talked to him.
What was y'all talking about?
It doesn't matter. It matters not.
It does. I think it depends on the conversation. Then he will more
Ask
than
him when
willing.
he gets here.
Okay, I think you should call him.
Rock, paper, scissors. You never do this right.
I'm waiting for you. How we going to do it?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Calm down.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Are you gonna say like ready go or
Ready, set, go. Bitch.
What?
How are you?
I'm good.
You answered that today.
Why you look like that?
What?
What's going on? What's going on?
Wait.
You're like one of those calendar cartoons in elementary school.
What? What? It's a calendar cartoon.
Never mind. It may be an 80s thing. I don't know. They smile all the time.
I'm happy to see you.
Okay, awesome. What's going on? What is going on?
This is why I don't call.
What? You know,
Ask him your question.
I found out we can't say certain things on YouTube, so I'm not gonna say that, but why you call me here? But insert.
insert what?
You know what I'm saying. I only got too many of them to give.
Okay, so you waiting to pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talking about ballroom today.
Oh my God.
How long have you been in?
That's what this subject about?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Everything ballroom.
Everything, that's a lot. It's layers to that.
You've been in that long?
Yeah. 16 years.
What was your first category?
I just got asked this last night.
Oh.
Shout out to Nelly West, but Butch Queen European Runway.
Legend?
What was it again?
Butch Queen European Runway.
Oh. And
Yeah.
so, like, how did that journey go for you?
I didn't like it. I liked it, like the whole purpose, okay, first of all, ballroom was different for me.
Mm-hmm.
I found it because of Hurricane Katrina,
Mm-hmm.
and not Katrina Ebony, the actual hurricane. Once everybody split from New Orleans, some people went to Houston, some people went to Atlanta. Some of my kids came back with these DVDs, serve the kids this and walk for me Wednesday, that. We were on the desktops, y'all don't do those things no more. We're on the desktop and everything, going on walk for me Wednesdays, going to this thing, the shade room and all that. And I started seeing Amaya, which is my niece. I think the first one I seen was she was walking Drag's face, and they chopped her because they were saying that she was not a drag queen. She is, we want to see your knots. We want to see your knots. I was like, what's knots? Like, what are they talking about? They wanted to see if she was taking hormones and stuff. So I was, like, who is these people? And they don't have the right to tell you who these people think they are. And they was like, Dad, they the judges. They can't judge. It was crazy. So I seen that, and then I started seeing like Country Mizrahi and all of them. They were showing me them voguing and everything. I'm like, what is this? Then I seen the guy from the Apollo come on there, Andre Mizrahi. I didn't know that he came from no scene or no culture, no nothing like that. I just remember him on Showtime at the Apollo, turning upside down on his head, making his legs go like that. So I was like, okay. So that's how I got involved. That was like 05. So I started looking at it then and started like kind of getting interested in it, but I really never had a chance to be involved, being like from the Gulf Coast and being in New Orleans. Then when I got out the Navy the first time and came to Dallas, Shamar Garcon, he was Shamar Revlon at the time, he wanted to bring it to Dallas. They were doing it down in Houston, like the Harajuku Ball and all that stuff and everything. They were doing it down in Houston, but Shamar wanted to bring it to Dallas. So he called on Whitney and Stasha and Tony Vuitton. He was at Miyake Mugler at the time. And they brought it to Club Elm and Pearl. And when they brought it to Club Evan Pearl, I was saying to myself, well, if I participate in this, what do I want to do? So I was like, I'm gonna try to do the gayest thing that's just not drag. Because me being in the military, I was in a macho, it was just like very it was just too much. Misogyny and everything with being in the military, right? Don't ask, don't tell was still a thing. So when do I ever get a chance to just be gay? And then I wasn't even accepting that I was gay and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna walk like Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell. And then everybody was like, you too short. You can't. So I was like, okay, now I'm really gonna walk. You bow-legged, your legs look funny. Now I'm gonna really walk. So then I started walking runway and I actually won that night, but I got out of it when I seen that, when they started doing the creative stuff. Cause as y'all know, I'm really cheap. First of all, if I lose and I got all this shit, I'll be mad. And even if I win, what the fuck I'm gonna do with, I said it. What am I gonna do with all this? It was a lot. It was almost like, I feel like that's getting in drag. All that stuff that creates, like, you want me to take 500 Legos and make something out of it? Good luck. I'm not doing that. So I like clean, chic, just like those type of fashions where you can see the walk, see the crossover, not a bunch of, I like it to see it, but I don't want to walk it. And that's how I ended up getting out of that.
Okay, so what has been like your favorite moment from your career?
Who's favorite? You're talking about favorite moment of what?
Of your ballroom career? What's been your favorite moment?
Of someone else or mine?
Of your
my own
ballroom career.
I don't even know how to answer that because I don't really have no favorite moments. I don't think I have no favorite moments in ballroom.
Would you say producing like new Ebony's? Is that part of it?
See, that's why you gotta know how to answer the damn question. You asked me my favorite moments in ballroom, which is putting my mind frame on the floor. Now, if you say what is something that I have joy in ballroom my whole career, now we can go into that's why I say y'all got this show with all these goddamn layers.
I think it was just a question.
It wasn't. Your question is like,
it was a simple question.
That's how I know you must be new.
I mean, damn.
But anyways, okay. When we was almost late in North Carolina, that was a favorite moment of mine. When we was late and I had to drive up to the ball, drove up to the ball, turned the car off, threw the keys, had to skip the line. They made me pay $60, run in there, give my stuff to Andre. Andre, it was like 3, 2, and he walking up on the stage as I'm paying my money to run around, come up on the stage, and then get my 10s for executive realness. And I think that was a favorite moment of mine because I was like, I've heard people say, I came in from the doors, but that was my first time having I almost missed. I drove a long way. I'm not this damn cat.
12 hours.
12? What? No, that was the 14-hour one because that was Carolinas. So you drove 14 hours for me to miss a category? No. So, and then it was, for that moment right there, I think another reason I like that moment is because when I got up on stage, I think that's the first time I really felt like people really knew me for my category. Mm-hmm. Because everybody in the audience was like, oh, hey, Jrock, and I had not got that before. Jrock, you know what I'm saying? And then the people from France was like, hey, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe people do know me, So that was fun right there, and taking out all them fake executives.
Fake executives? Would you like to give them a shout out? The people that
all you people that's so angry when y'all walk executive realness, this one's for you.
Oh my God.
Like, why you at work that way? Clock out. What else? They just so angry. Who at work with a brick? Get the fuck out of here.
You are a 3-time legend, correct?
That's what they say.
What are you legendary for?
Commentator. Mm-hmm. I'm executive realness and realness with a twist.
What is something that irks you about Gulf Coast Ballroom?
Something that irks me about Gulf Coast Ballroom?
Both scenes.
Wait, we talking about Kiki stuff too?
If y'all haven't known, Jrock has already left the Kiki scene once.
3 times. Listen, first of all, mainstream, what irks me about mainstream is we actually have a lot of veterans in the Gulf Coast. They just in the house. They don't come out. They don't say anything. When things start going really good and popping in the Gulf Coast and all this kind of stuff, now these people reared their ugly heads from the freaking underground and want to say stuff like, if it wasn't for me and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, we've been trying to give y'all roses. Why were y'all not here when it's time to do the actual work of keeping it going? The stressful part, you know what I'm saying? When people are throwing rocks at the Gulf Coast, people are saying y'all late, all this kind of stuff. There was only one person that was out there taking all them beatings, and that was me. And that's why I talk like that when it comes to the Gulf Coast, and I don't care who got anything to say about it. You know what I'm saying? Is I hate that, like, be out here. Maybe you're not a person that's like, maybe get as much into it as I do, but at least be visible so when I'm telling the stories of y'all, people can put a... Because when the new kids start coming up, and then this veteran come out, the first thing they say is, who the fuck is you? And now they feel disrespect and everything. You know, I be saying with the kids, well, who the fuck are you? Tell them, because they know who the fuck I am. As for the Kiki scene, I don't. Okay, I had to do the Nam Yo Ho Rengekyo. The Kiki scene, I feel like it's a bunch of people on the Kiki scene that don't know their place at all. You got people on the Kiki scene that think that they can come out there and feel it on the times of people that's been here before them and even created it. I've seen that light go out, but hey, fuck it. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Kiki scene. I feel like it's a lot of people, it's a lot of inexperienced people, and then when you try to give them pointers and everything, they don't want to take it. They rather take pointers from somebody that they don't know, late, naughty ass girls. I was about to say that word that I got us strike last time. People that's not from here. You know what I'm saying? You get people that you like, they just move here. And you got people that move here that are genuine. Like we got some of the people that's genuine. They just trying to be ballroom.
What's the word that you use for that?
Who? The genuine ones? The out-of-towners? Like when the out-of-towners come, I don't like they come in and they say stuff like, oh, the Gulf Coast, y'all. When you keep saying that lets me know that you did not take ownership of here. But when you say stuff, if you're an out of town and you move here and you start saying we, ours, us, that means that you are a resident. That means that you have taken ownership of this, because if this is ballroom, I understand we're a region, but it's still ballroom. And if you are a legend or an icon, it doesn't matter where you move in the world. If you're an icon or a legend in ballroom, that's your shit. And you're supposed to show me that I'm in this with y'all, but if you don't, then I will treat you as such. Because you, like, I don't understand. But those are the ones that they listen to. They don't listen to the people that created it, been here since they was a kid, since they came in, and all this stuff. I don't know, they just get to to where you don't know nothing. You know? So I don't know. That's what irks me. That's why I just leave it alone. I'm not gonna keep telling you stuff and then you keep looking at it.
So what do you love about the Gulf Coast?
What I love about the Gulf Coast, they some bad motherfuckers, to be honest with you. Even though they're inexperienced, you got some people that be feeling it and stuff like that. As a whole, and I just saw this at the Tisci ball and at the other balls and stuff like that, there was a time when it was nothing but like 3 to 5 names mentioned when you say Gulf Coast. Now, when I looked at the ballroom nominations, that gagged me. It is a lot of people from the Gulf Coast that are now starting to be known, and the talent is starting to be recognized, thanks to Tens of Chops Television Network on YouTube. It's a lot of people that are starting to like get out there. That's what I like about it. And there's a lot of people there's a difference in confidence and trying to feel it on somebody's times. I like the ones that's got confidence. They go out there, they do what they got to do. But then, you know what I'm saying, they still try to look for guidance and stuff like that and everything to make sure, I know I won this ball, you know, but what can I do better? Them the ones that I like. You know what I'm saying? We even got people unleashed out here. And I'm like, unleashed already? You know what I'm saying? So you got some regions and don't nobody even look at them. Don't nobody give a damn.
What regions are those?
Those regions.
Put a name to it.
Don't have to put a name to it. We're not doing that.
Why not?
Because my nerves is I'm still that.
How many
person.
houses have you been in?
How many houses I've been in? What kind of mess is that? See, that's the thing that I'm talking about. You got people out here that's been in like 15,000 houses. I still have the same cell phone number that I had when I turned it on over 20-something years ago. Went to the same high school, was in the same branch of service for 21 years. I don't change up. My relationships left me. I didn't leave them. I am a loyal person. I have been an Ebony since the beginning, and I'm not going nowhere. I will be an Ebony to the day I die. If they close the house of Ebony, guess what? I'm still an Ebony. They just not.
Work that out.
Eat that up. So we have some friends coming over. Do you mind?
Oh, I don't mind. They can be over, do what they want to do.
Well, tell them you said hi.
I tell them I said hi, because, I'm always got stuff to do. That sounded so wrong, huh? I'm always got stuff to do. I'm in college, though, y'all. But still.
Don't let us hold you.
All right. That's it?
That's all.
Oh, okay, well, cool. Oh.
All right.
Well, we're going to cut to a brief commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have some very special guests in the house.
Bye, Dad. What's up?
What's up?
What's your name?
Dre,
Okay, Dre. How old are you?
24.
If you had a sexual superpower, what would that sexual superpower be?
Everlasting nut.
Why would you say everlasting nut?
Because
Because of what? You don't feel like you're gonna be like drained out? Super drained.
I'm super drunk.
You like that feeling? Why?
Because
When's the last time you just went back to back?
it's been like the day before yesterday. It's been a cool little 24, 48 hours. So it's like the day before yesterday.
How many rounds would you say you went?
Like 4, 5.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, you took them down.
Yeah.
Super drained.
It was It was going down.
So how fast can you run?
I can run fast. I used to run track.
Huh?
I used to run track.
Me too. You want to race?
Do I want to race? Sure. Where we racing? Hold on. Where we racing at? Hold on.
From that table to back. So you don't want to race? Yeah. Scared, right? So you don't want to race me? Scary.
No, like if we was in a parking lot, yeah, we would have raced. If we was in a parking lot, we would have raced.
It's because you super drained.
Because
Hey cousins, and we're back in the house with some very special guests. Today we have none other than the icon. He's a founder. He is a blueprint. He is you can say a lot of things about this man. When I say like he is an inspiration to so many in the scene in many various ways. Definitely when it comes down to all things fashion in ballroom, this is the guru, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest. I present to you the king father now of the House of Tisci and the founder of Karate Naughty.
Oh, you done?
Mhm.
It's my turn. Well,
Oh, did I not say it? I'm sorry.
that's the disrespect on your behalf.
Look, let me get this. Let me milk this goat. The goat himself, Gunner, Naughty Karate Tisci.
All right.
Hello.
All right. Well, it's another goat on that couch.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. He's a legend in the Kiki. No, he's not. But he's a legend in the Kiki scene, a stern, strong statement up in the main scene. And let me tell y'all, if y'all ain't never seen somebody bend their back, break their neck, jump on the table, and do all the bendy switch shit, y'all know what I'm talking about because it's him. None other than Amor West. Give him a hand. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the house.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I can live up to that introduction.
Okay, I hope you can too. You like, the house and everything. It's a studio.
Oh, I love it here. It's nice. It's very respectful. It's a protector of yums and things of that nature, so I'm here for it.
Okay, so we are talking about everything ballroom, so we want to get it real.
Everything?
Yes.
What does that mean?
All things ballroom. So we want to inform and educate the cousins about the culture.
The good, the bad.
Is this like a multi-part series?
Because I'm trying to get as much as we can in today, but I mean, obviously, ballroom is so big that we're not going to be able to cover it all. But I want to start off by letting y'all introduce yourselves to the cousins, let them know, how long you've been a part of ballroom and where did you originally start walking balls?
Okay.
Where are you from? Let's start right. Where are you from?
Because you have said so much. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. That's where I started walking balls at. I've been walking balls for about 7 years. I think it just made 7 years a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
What else I was supposed to say?
That was it.
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee originally.
Really?
Yep. Homegrown, southern bred and fed. And I have been walking and been a part of ballroom probably about since the people who are being deemed now in elementary school are being thought of.
Wait, what?
I get it.
Since the people that are being deemed now, since the stern, strong statements are coming to the scene, they were probably in elementary school when I started walking balls.
You're not going to tell them your age.
I am 40 years old. Shout out to Mother Tisci for having a category for Pimp Queen Face over 40. Mm-hmm. I come from an era where we did not expect to be here this long, so I would proudly and gladly say that I'm 40. But I have been walking balls since October 2002, so that's 22 and a half years.
Okay. Second grade. Yeah.
You know what? I had already read myself. I didn't
Okay,
I already said. Okay.
I was even at elementary school.
I'm sorry. I've been walking since before they were in elementary school. I was walking balls and they were learning to walk and not walk.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I was just get right into some hot things. So you walk Vogue Film, which is one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive categories in ballroom, and you are one of the groundbreaking trailblazers in all things fashion, where we understand that honestly y'all don't get enough recognition for as much as y'all put out into ballroom. Mm-hmm. For you, what would you say is the hardest thing, or what was the hardest thing for you to overcome in Vogue Film?
That's hard. I guess it's just like setting yourself aside, being different from all the rest of the Vogue films, because there's so many of us, so it's kind of hard to kind of really set yourself aside and get your name out there when it's 30,000 people.
You can say,
you can say 30,000 other bitches who Vogue, damn near the same. So you have to kind of sit yourself down, okay, so what's going to make me stand out? What's going to make people start knowing my name? And I feel like that's kind of the hardest.
Okay. But can we talk about why they all vote the same now, though?
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that.
I think we should get into that because I have a theory about that.
So, who are your inspirations when it comes to Vogue Film?
I have a lot of inspirations. I have different inspirations for different stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start with my favorite Vogue film ever is Angel, ex-Prodigy. I think she's Chanel now, I want to say. Yeah, Angel, Adante, shout out to my mama.
Okay.
Kitty, Cassandra, Little James. Damn. It's just so like I have so many. I have a lot of inspirations. Like it just depends on different stuff. Like I go to certain people for spins, or I go to certain people for hands, or I go to certain people for a catwalk, or I go to certain people for like a certain little antic that they do. It's just like I have so many inspirational, like literally, like if you go through like my YouTube list, it would just be like
hella shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And for you, like you come from a different area, obviously. Like how has fashion changed, and like what, if anything, like what was the obstacle for you in the fashion category?
I think the obstacle in the fashion category is the reinvention, and then just being able to do it for so long. The era that I come from, for those who were around then talking about it, it was the era of what we call craft. And we got it out of the mud to make things work and be able to afford things. And so to decide to do ballroom fashion, 5 categories at that, and then do so off the back of legality it's a challenge, right? You know, not getting that recognition and spending $30,000 to walk latex and just get sent home. It's just like, wow.
First battle or?
But it was only one battle, but yeah. But I mean, even no, but seriously, like even on the nights that I win, like, and people who have followed me and shout out to all the people who follow my brand for all these years, and thank you. But for people who follow me, know I've talked about my closet, and while acquiring that closet was fun, it was a fun thing to do. I now look at myself as a 40-year-old man and say, wow, I have $1 million closet. But I could have had a home, I could have owned properties, I could have had stock. And so it's always asking yourself, did I do this for ballroom or did I do it for me? And kind of going back and forth with that question. So that's been like the biggest hurdle to get over. It's like almost more of a hurdle now to get over the fact that I did it versus getting over some hurdle now. It's just like, wow, you really did this for 22 years. Right. And you know, and then it's a lot. It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. But then I think some of it too, I think it's just me getting old. So of course everything changes, right? So I try not to become that old person that's like, well, back in my day, we used to, well, it's just not back in your day. Either be Madonna and reinvent yourself for the current generation or step to the side.
Okay.
So when it comes to y'all categories, like what are things that like irritate y'all or grind y'all gears?
People don't know the category that they're supposed to be walking, but I feel that way about it, ballroom in general. Like even we're talking about performance, I feel like the salty cunts don't know themselves from the dramatics, don't know themselves from the old way, don't know themselves from the new way. Like there's this blurring of the lines. And so one of the things like for now that really bothers me with fashion is people walking best dressed when it should be designer's delight. There's a category for that. And then expecting people not to be critically heavy on that, right? I get it. It's hard. It costs money, this, that, and the third. But if I see your glue gun work, it's not best dress. It's designer's delight. It's not ready to wear. It's not demure. It's not considerate. And then I will, if I could, just say a little bit about Vogue Femme, even though that's not my category. With that, I think when we were saying earlier about, he said earlier about like all the people Vogue the same. I have a theory behind it. Like Vogue Femme back in the day was butch queen voguing like a femme queen. You had these femme queens that came in the ballroom and they had these personalities and these auras. They all vogue differently based on their personality. And butch queens studied that. So you would want to vogue like Mika. You would want to vogue like Ashley. You want to vogue like Sanaya. You want to embody what that meant to vogue like that butch queen vogue like a femme queen. But now what we have is butch queens who studied butch queens, who watched YouTube, who learned from femme queens. So there's so many generations from like the original essence, right? Now it's just about the move. So it's like, and you miss the essence. It was something about the I don't know if we can say it, the ussy with the P in the front. It was something about the way the femme queens, it was something about the way the femme queens, whether they were dramatic or not, walked into a room and said, yes, I gave birth to everyone. Watch this. Let me tell you my story. That story element, that ooze, that now it's just 360 dip. 360 dip. And it's like, okay, I don't know if she's soft. I don't know if she got beat up today. I don't know if she's on her period. Like, I don't know why she's going to be so aggressive.
What's funny about that is because it's no femme queens no more. Like it's femme queens, but all the femme queens want to walk face. All the femme queens want to walk realness. There's no femme queens who really wants to do performance no more.
Yeah.
So we don't have nobody to look up to. We have to go all the way back to 2006 to watch a femme queen that we're not gonna do.
So I want to ask
You can still learn. You can like, so for me, like, not to use it because she's in my house, but you could watch a Giselle has a femme queen essence and energy. There's a way that she walks into a room, and you can turn it into performance. Tell the story of Giselle, and like, there's still femme queens to be studied. They don't have to necessarily vogue for you to study them, but there's a way to embody the essence. And I think that's also a part of the problem in ballroom. We're very butch queen centered. When I came in, we were at the tail end of it, still being very femme queen. Female energy centered. We still cared and coveted our femme queens in such a way to where now, like, I remember coming in and you would see more femme queens on panels. You know, mothers were more revered. We would stop balls when certain femme queens came into the room. Like, the whole ball would just have to stop, and we would have to give them their graces. And now it's just a bunch of agate foggers, because I can't say the other word. It's just a bunch of agate foggers getting their life, and we've really become the mainstream world that I think we ran against. We become misogynistic, we become femphobic, we become transphobic, we become all of those things, and we've objectified them now. So we don't study them, we don't revere them, we objectify them. It's how can they be a good trinket on my roster?
Yeah. So I want to touch on something that you talked about. What's the word I'm looking for? A persona. Now, when I was coming up in ballroom, it was under my impression, and because before ballroom I was into pageantry. So for me, getting into pageantry, I looked at the girls and I was like, well, dang, like I want to be like that. Like I want to be making coin on the show and being this girl that everybody treated in the scene like a celebrity. And so even in ballroom, watching, you know, the girls in New York, it kind of gave the similar essence of like, when you seen certain people go on the floor, the people just got crazy. So like, do y'all have y'all's own ballroom personality?
Yes. I have a whole persona. I'm like, when I get on the floor, I turn into a bitch. So like I do this thing and it irritates me when people do this, like when I'm at the back of the runway and they're like, you better vogue, like, cause that whole time, like, I'm changing, like I'm not, I'm changing, I'm going from one person to another, like y'all kind of like stopping that process, like. It's like your transition. Okay, my transition. I'm coming to, like, you know, I got titties, I got hair all the way down here, like I'm moaning, like I'm ovulating back there, like. And y'all said you better vote. Now stop.
Like, cause then it does add another level.
And like, if you ever see me like at the back of the runway, I always do this thing, and it's how you know I transform, and I'm like. She's I'm all the way here. She's here. She don't know none of y'all. Don't talk to me.
I do have different personas. Like I said, I've been blessed enough to be around ballroom for quite a couple decades now, and I walk 5 fashion categories, and each of those fashion categories actually already requires a different persona because of the energy that you give for a streetwear, which is like a fashion category for junior realness, right? It's like a boy category. Then you have Foot and Eye, which is flamboyant. Then you have, you know, Best Dress, which is about your poise and all this other stuff. So I've always had those different personalities. But I kind of like my latest one. The latest one is, you know, the organic biological government hair. That's my latest persona. And the reason that came about, I give the brief history because a lot of people don't know this. Hell, my house people didn't know this. So Southeast Awards, I think it was, the House of Tisci won Realness as a House. We did the Addams Family. Well, I was cousin It. So I had all this hair. And so it was this whole conversation about, oh my God, Gunna, you got a Realness trophy. They were like, well, girl, you ain't got one. They didn't even know it was you. I said, well, they're going to know it's me going forward. And since that ball of wearing that whole body wig, I've worn wigs to balls.
Oh.
So there's a tie-in for me, right? And that's even the ballroom I come from. Like when we used to have the commentators, when the commentators would talk about the people that was at a ball, they knew the beefs that were going on. They knew the last time these people battled, so they set battles up. There's always been like the art of storytelling in ballroom. I mean, which kind of dates back to why we have ballroom, right? It's oppressed people finding a voice and finding a way to say that we matter in the world and getting out their energy. But yes, I mean, I have personalities. My latest one is to be a knot. I missed out on naughty years. And so now I want to have the House of Naughty Karate. I think there's something there's something so authentic about being a young gay person that doesn't have the eyes of the community watching you and dictating what you should be and how you should be and when you should be. Then when you come in, you got on your late clothes, you with your late girlfriends, y'all scrounged up y'all money, y'all at the club before 11 because it was free, and you just in there just letting your gayness just be gay. And in the ballroom scene, we get to a point we kind of call it, them the knots. But it's like, yes, but girl, the knots are having fun. Like the knots are having fun. And you're sitting on the corner with your arms folded, with your camera ready to pull out and say world star. But it's like, look at them, bitch. They sharing one drink. One drink, one blunt, and they's in the middle of the dance floor getting their ones in. And you mad. Like really you mad. It's like a lot of us who have now made it to this star level. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the tea out there. I'm sorry y'all for snitching on us old bitches. But a lot of us are angry. A lot of us are upset that we kind of lost that innocence and now have built up this repertoire that we have to keep up. Like, you a glam doll, so every time you go out, you got to be glam. So now you mad at the other people because of this persona that you created.
Right.
So that's the downside also of these personas, is if you create a persona that you don't want to upkeep for years and years and years, now you start to be angry at the people for expecting that persona that you created.
You're right, because like for me, what people don't realize is that they deal with XaPariis a lot. And it's like, don't hate Nick. You know, I'm just the vessel. I'm the vessel. She is the energy, you know? And so like
she's your girl. In your fashion, we have the concept of where's your girl going? She's your girl.
Right. And it's like, you know, like you just said, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like people either gonna like you or they not gonna like you. And you know, she just don't care.
She don't.
I've
seen her lives.
Definitely.
I've seen her lives. I had to turn on notifications on. I was like, bitch, she remind me of me. Tap, tap, tap. I got a thing or two to tell you girls today. I'm like, girl, what the Gulf Coast do now?
Right.
I'm like, Lord, they need a new protector.
In ballroom, you know, people affiliate chops with shade. Can you remember the first chop that you got delivered, and what was that moment like for you?
Now, don't get mad at me. Don't go start making no posts next week about me when you see this. Because I love him. Well, I liked him when he was bigger. Now he's getting skinny, and I don't like skinny Fred. I prefer big Fred.
You talking about the icon?
Shout out to the icon, Fred Chanel Delcourt.
Shout out to you.
Fred was my first chop in ballroom for best dress. He may not ever admit to it, but at the time I had just become father at Scotta, and there were some Chanels that wanted to leave, particularly one of my children, Rock Chanel. Wanted to walk into the Scotta ball, and he got word of it. Or he wanted to walk in, he was going to debut in the Scotta at that ball. And my sources tell me that he got word of it, so he sent me packing. But it's okay though. But you know, like, and I say this though, like for real. Like at first I was like upset about it, but I think that's the beauty of like, when you really care about this culture, you really think about it. And even though it's for you, it's for yourself. When you really think about the art and the longevity of it, chops are going to happen. Shade is going to happen. Like I've always said, ballroom is such a reflection of the real world if we get out of our own way about it. Like in the real world, people are going to just not like you just because, bitch, I chose not to like you today.
Right.
And there's like, you don't go punching those people. Like you just be like, dang, well, let me, you know, you don't go to interviews and people gonna not give you the job. You don't mace the interview. You don't go to McDonald's with the interview mace and mace all the girls who just interviewed to give you the job. Right? Like you, so for me, it's about I realized, and shout out to Dante Balenciaga, because this is a line that I actually picked up from him. In ballroom, if you're in it long enough, you'll win nights that you're not supposed to, and you'll lose nights that you're not supposed to. But if you're in it long enough, those will outweigh each other, and your story will tell itself, right? So that chop, Fred.
That was beautiful.
But that's okay, because I went on to get chopped out of shade by Tony Revlon too. So at least my shades have come from the best.
Right.
Some of you girls be letting not shade.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, because again, I actually got shaded recently for Sneaker vs. Sneakers. Shout out to the Prodigies. The girls be after ball. I just be out here trying to live my but no, shout out to the Prodigies, shout out to them. I love them, right? Because again, and that's the thing about me personally, and I'll land my plane, is that while in the moment it feels personal and stuff like that, Like for me, because I love the community, I understand what the community is, what we represent. I see us as a family. Like I'm not gonna agree with you all the time. I'm gonna cuss you out. But as long as you don't F my man, as long as you don't steal my money, as long as you don't do none of that, I feel like we can always return from it. That's how family is. Like we're around each other for this energy. I'm not around you because you're gonna say yes to everything I do. I'm around you because it's like, no, you over there being with that 19-year-old boy, that's not cute. Stop that. No, your look was late, girl. You deserve that chop. Like, don't build my head like, yeah, girl, they shade you, and then you go and tell your girlfriend, yes, Miss Thing, because girl, I know some like, no, tell me, girl, the sneaker was late this week, and I go, okay, so.
I think I only got one chop ever.
Was that the shade? You got one chop statement.
It was by Selman.
Oh damn! You gotta get your lick back. Shout out to the nurse. Shout out to Selman.
I was upset. I was upset. I feel like it was. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say it was out of shade because she don't know me, but I feel like it was some type of tea or something because it was so many knots right before me that did terrible. Like worse than I did.
Or maybe you had the karate to the night.
I feel like, sometimes when you're like a Bofem or like a Bofem with a name, I feel like people hold you to a certain stature. Yeah. So the moment that you're right here and not here, hi-ya.
They getting you out of here.
And then
they should though.
I think they should too, but I feel like if you're gonna do that with everybody. Don't do that with just the people who's up here because it'll be 6 other people right before me that vote right here. And y'all be like 10s, they ate it. And then I vote right here and they be like, one chop, you didn't eat it tonight. I don't know what it was. What was it with them?
but again, maybe the judge is judging them. While yes, judging is comparative, it's comparative amongst your peers, but it's also comparative to you, right? So even going back to the Prodigy chop, right? If Jrock or some kind of like, now that I'm here part of the Gulf Coast, if there are certain legends that I expect to bring it at a certain caliber and I'm judging a ball and I see the new kids come out and they give their best, right? It may not be my choice, but it's like, okay, it's their best, they bold, they element. And I see, and this is just me, maybe I'm telling on myself, if I see someone who I know has the capacity to be 10 times better than that and you come out less than that, now I feel like you're trying ballroom, you think it's for an easy win, and so now I'm gonna send you because this other person who, yes, may not have bowed to your mediocre, they gave their best tonight. And you came out here and thought based on your name and who you were and because of X, Y, Z that you can give me your ass to kiss. No, ma'am, you can kiss your ass from the back of the bar.
Well, I think
and because you're supposed to be the example.
I think that's a fair statement,
but still, everybody still deserve to have like an off night. I don't even say like an off night, but like so everybody deserves to have like you've been doing this for years. Everybody, you're not every time that you're gonna come out there, you're not gonna be the best that you can be. Like sometimes you are gonna be the best that you can be, but sometimes sometimes life happens.
And you're gonna get red. Mariah Carey, when she did that Christmas special outside and she was off key, we read her lyrics. It said don't ever let her sing live again. And this is the Mariah Carey. So if you come out there and you miss your dip, don't ever let her dip again.
No, I'm not.
But that's the cost of excellence, right? That's the cost of competition. I also think that it's harmful or as hurtful as that can feel, it's also a testament to your name actually becoming something. Mm-hmm. When people are actually now judging you based on you, that means you have established a bar. And it is as painful or as ugly as it may be to climb that bar. To me, that's what really makes real legends and icons. When every time you come out, you don't consider the competition. You consider your last hit the competition. Now you're one of the girls. Because I got to come out and be better than Gunner has been for the last 22 years. Yeah. It's not enough for me to come out and sit everybody else. I can do that. I know I can do that. But can I sit the previous me?
Yeah. That's good. I didn't think about it like that.
What about you, Virgin?
Ronnie just chopped me over at this last ball.
Shout out to Rodney. Looks like everybody got chopped by Icon.
Shout out to my brother Rodney.
Everybody got chopped by Icon.
I never got chopped by Rodney.
He told me that when I asked him, I said, "You chopped me?" He said, "You vote." I said,
Can I speak to that as an icon, as someone that judges? And I know that feels so shady when you're on the side of the chop, but to me, what that actually says is it wasn't personal. He didn't take the time to recognize who you were and say, yes, bitch, I'm chopping her tonight. It was just whatever he saw at the time of judging just did not meet his qualifications, and he chopped you. And more than likely to know, my brother, if you were to bring him the clip or send that, he would be able to tell you why. Like when a judge remembers, when a judge of a certain caliber remembers why they chop you, bitch, just know that they're trying it. When you come to be like, because you have some black shoestrings and don't always bitch, first of all, you took the time to remember all of that about me. Oh yes, you was ready for me at the back. Don't trust her. Don't trust her.
So I lied. So my first chop was not from Selma. I just thought about it. It was from Africa. West.
That one couldn't have been straight because you're a West now. You stupid.
It was shame because she wanted me to come to her house.
She wanted to be a Revlon?
No, this is when I was a prodigy. And
wait, she wanted you to be a Revlon?
Or she wanted to be a West?
And so you took the shade, you took the chop, and then you went to her humbly and said, can I be a West?
I did. I was already becoming a West. Like that was already like I can't say.
Also, y'all did it for sure. The number.
It was a strategy.
Y'all heard it here first.
It was a strategy.
It was a long process of me becoming a West. It took a long time for me to become a West.
The chop was affiliated with the process?
The chop was. I was confused. The chop almost made me not come.
Was it for a big ball?
Huh?
Was it for a big ball?
Yes. It wasn't for a big ball, but it was my best friend that passed away. His name is Lavish. They was having like a remembrance ball of him, and it was I think it was both of them. I mean, no, open to our performance for like $1,000 or something like that. And I came out there and she chopped me. Oh, I was hot. I was pissed.
That $1,000 was yours, huh? You don't spend that money.
I just knew that money was mine.
Girl, when I win this money tonight, we're going out to the club.
So speaking of money, I know ballroom isn't all about money, but how much would y'all say that y'all have won over y'all span?
I think I have like
all in both scenes.
I probably have one less than more than everybody up here.
You said you have less?
I probably have one less than most people.
I think I won because I won 2000s. I'm the highest paid in the Gulf Coast in the Kiki scene. I at 5,000 in Kiki, so I'll say like 7,000.
I think I'm about the same, probably like 7,000. I think I got like 5,000 in the mainstream, and then Kiki, I think I have 2. Well, I have 2. Well, I won $2,200 in the Kiki scene in Atlanta. I'm the highest paid in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta.
22 years, and we're probably all about the same amount. And that's with 5 categories, pioneering one of them under my belt.
Right.
Because when I came in the ballroom, I remember like the $1,000 club. Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
And then to be one of the $5,000 girls, that was really a thing. And then unfortunately, I came in after fashion that kind of faded off. So like the love that like performance gets now, there was a time in ballroom where fashion and face got that, and performance was that little dirty thing that the girls do when we go to the bar. Right? That's how it was kind of seen, and it has changed and shifted. And so there's waves of it. When I came in, like a big prize, bitch, they'd be like, labels, bring it head to toe in McQueen with a touch of Vivienne Westwood, and don't forget your accessories and your fur. $75. But the girls would slay for it, right? Because again, it's like, yes, the money has become such a big thing now. People count money as moments, and it's like, girl, I don't even remember you winning that money. But it really was about being seen, and it's still about being seen. But my generation and older, it really was about finding place in a world where you could be seen. So the money wasn't, it was to being able to brag. Like back in those days, ballroom and nightlife was really intertwined. So if you won a big ball, but you was VIP, you was the girl for the next 3 months at any club in any city you went to, right? So there was a lot of other accolades that came along with it before the money started coming. The money to me is,
yeah, I agree.
Now bitches win money, and it's like,
so, and then also now that the culture has expanded internationally, and with ballroom being like literally everywhere under a rock, I do feel like there's a lot of lackluster roses being given out. Who would y'all say are your top 5 of your category?
I don't even know that I can say a top 5 in our category, because in none of my categories do we really have a lot of walkers.
Well, in yours, give me top 2.
Top 2 lackluster?
No, top 2.
That is weird.
The category like.
Oh, okay. Because you had said something about all the categories is lackluster now.
We're gonna
your
get to lacklusters. We're gonna do the top 5 first.
Let's see. All my categories? You know, we talk about all the like, I walk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a one category type of girl. No, so let's see real quick. Sneaker versus sneaker. Mikey, Alpha Omega. Urban streetwear. High fashion streetwear. Foot and Eye. Mousy. Labelina, Leon, like the Foot and Eye carries. The Foot and Eye girls, when they come out, I live for Foot and Eye. The Foot and Eye girls still carry. Best dressed. See, the thing is, I don't want to just list my members. And I think, we have a fashion house who walk most of the categories.
But if they're the top, they're the top.
So best dressed would probably be Mark. Labels, going back to labels, female figure, Simone still reigns supreme. She still gets the people up. For the streetwear categories, what's his name, the garçon? Byron Garçon, I think. He also has fashion categories. Yeah, it's not a lot. Like, there are people who I watch and I like it when they walk, but there's not a lot of reigning. Like, back in our day, the girls would, like, dominate from balls to balls, and reigning knew who they were. I think, especially some of the, I hate to say this, the lesser fashion categories, the sneaker versus sneaker, the streetwears and stuff, you have a lot of people that just like, I'm gonna walk streetwear this week. Like, they're not dedicated to the art of the fashion. And so I would never, even if they had a one good night or one good moment, I would never give them the credibility of sitting at the top, because I just don't see the dedication to it.
Live for that.
Both. We talking about like non-legends. We talking about legends.
You can exclude the legends. Okay, it's a lot of y'all anyway.
It's a lot of us, regardless. Like the girls change every week.
The top 5 change like that.
The top 5 change every week. Every week is a new girl that's
Does it though? Does it change?
The top 5. I would say Miles, Tay. Everybody who I want to name is in my house too. Like, like everybody who wins both of them is West. Like, to be honest, like for the past couple of years, there's not really been too many people outside. Blue, I think he'll 007 soon to be. Never mind.
I think you're 007 by now.
Yeah.
Which Blue?
Ex-Prodigy.
Oh. Lord.
Woo! So,
Chi-Chi, 007.
You said what?
Top 2 performances right now. Chi-Chi 007 and Pussy West. I need that battle. I'm sorry. It didn't happen. Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi who?
Ex-Prodigy.
Versus Pussy?
It happened before.
No, it was supposed to happen in Atlanta.
It didn't though.
It didn't. But it was supposed to. It was going to be nasty.
It happened before though.
Oh, shout out to Chi-Chi. That motherfucker. That made a freaking tens
You talking about, and then we'll come back to that.
in Atlanta.
Who is your top 5?
For All American, I would say no particular order. Brody, Jeremy. I'll say 7 for here. He's a Mugler. I can't think of his name, but when I see him, he's light skinned, he's tall. I just followed him on Instagram, but I've been watching him for a while. I cannot think of his name. But those are my top 4. I don't have a 5th.
Okay. I have a really cute category. American Runway has really been doing its thing in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
well, been about 3.5 years, 4 years.
What about you?
All the girls that walk the Tisci ball.
I didn't see it. I was in the back.
I don't know them by name.
Those are your top 5 right now?
Yeah, it was like 5 of them. I think like Felicia, The West,
Kiari.
These are the Dragons.
And then the heavyset girl, she a ball man.
I think her name's like Dage.
Her.
Who's 5 dragons that walk? Shout out to the Tisci function.
Yeah,
Shout out
it
to
was
the new
more than
bloodline
5.
of
It was
drags.
like
That's over.
It was like 10 of
A
them.
lot of drag.
The drag performance, like I think the last good wave of drag
Era,
performance,
yeah,
a lot of
was
y'all
ours.
like now legends and stuff now. So to see a new set of girls come out, that's cute.
That brings me to my next question. So with all of y'all being legends and icons within y'all category,
Technically, I'm not legend.
well, Kiki Scene.
Kiki, I'm a virgin.
On both scenes, someone is y'all.
I walk everything. I walk shake hands. I walk runway. I walk Butch Queen up in Fifth Queen realness. All around loser.
But how do y'all feel when the legends don't come out for y'all categories, especially within performance?
I feel like it's like the legends coming out is important because it's like y'all be like, y'all didn't see no legends or y'all don't do it, but y'all don't come out. Y'all don't come out. Y'all be sitting a little scared in the back, like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, come out, boo.
I wouldn't say scared because like for my I'm gonna say I statements. You know, my first time back as a legend was at the Tisci bar. I feel like when I came out in the scene again, back to Gunner's point, I was investing in ballroom to the point to where I was like doing my homework, doing my research. So like my focus was always first my category and then everything else, if that makes sense. Like here, we didn't have a lot of female figures. It was literally me and Essence. R.I.P.
Shout out to you.
So like we were always battling. Then like there was a wave of like me and Trinity. But you know, all these were just like sporadic moments. But most of the time, I was always battling the Butch Queen. So when I did finally try for the first time, I had to do my research, and the girl name who came up majority of the time was Tisci. Again, I'm not knowing her. I don't know nothing about her. Nothing. I just saw a couple of videos, and my dad was like, "When we get to North Carolina, that's who you need to get. That's her." So I never forget that first year at Marcus Ball doing LSS. This why you don't go to the house with a lot of girls, because girls try to steal your mama. Shout out to the Ebony Pearls. But Jack had called Tisci out. You know, she was in her LSS and everything like that. And back then, I was a firecracker.
Also, you didn't mind. Don't tell me you stormed the LSS.
I wanted it. I needed it. I wanted her so bad. But what happened was, here my dumb, I'm so just, again, inexperienced, because my first time out of state, I'm thinking, I want to do it just like I see on YouTube. When I storm her, I need to storm her from the back. So I take weight at the front. So I take the long route. By the time I get to the back of the stage, the two other Ebony heifers then on the stage, standing with her. I'm like,
you had already told them you was gonna storm her.
I didn't tell
So they
her.
stormed your storm.
Storm my set, right? And so, right, and so we got to the category or whatever, and ironically, it was just the Prodigies and the Ebonies for drag. So it was Tisci and her daughter, and then it was me, Paris, and Diamond, right? And so Tisci was the first one they called, and Jack was like, where's that Ebony bitch who stormed her doing LSS?
And so you think they're talking about you, but now it's three people
he
they
was
talking
talking about me. He was very specific. He said, no, that one. And that was all. That was literally all.
God is trying to tell you something.
And so, like, from that battle, like, that started like my state-to-state career. And I say that just to say again, like, when I came out, again, like, I did my research, and for me, it was always about having the right battles to get the name made. I feel like now everything is so microwavable, like, because there's a ball every week, and these girls be going to balls where, honestly, the competition is not it. Can we really say that they're the top girls? But when you put everybody in the same room together, and the outcome is not the same, then they're not really the top. You know, like me and Tisci have this ongoing thing where she's like, I'm the queen, I'm the queen, I'm the queen. But every time me and her were ever in the same building together, I reign supreme. So for me, no, those are facts. Those are the facts. So it's like, my thing is, again, like, so for y'all, like, who is that somebody who you feel like they get a lot of notoriety, but honestly, they resume of people is, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
Me, baby. Everybody went real political, real quick.
No, not that we're real political, right? It's just that. See, so the old me was the tap point, right? I don't use. The new me, if I'm going to speak in a way that could not be affirming on someone's name, it has to be because they asked me a question directly for my opinion. Otherwise, offering a harmful opinion to someone doesn't do them any good. All it does is cause discord.
Oh, girl. I hate the new you.
No, don't get me wrong. The new me is still.
You make ballroom great again.
Yeah, make ballroom great again, and by doing that, that means because everybody know I can be negative or not negative. I can be critical. I'll say this. For sneaker versus sneaker, a lot of running to sacks doesn't work for me. For best dress, a lot of quarter-inch hemlines, pulling at the seams, hot glue gun headpieces, eyewear with stuff falling off doesn't work for me. For labels, a lot of 3-year ago on sale pieces, Moschino, that type of stuff doesn't work for me. I can call it the stuff that doesn't work. Now, if you're one of the people that happen to wear that and the shoe fits, then hello, Cinderella.
Hello, Cindy.
But for real though, I think that, and this isn't even just me being political, right? I do think that, at least in the fashion categories, I do think that most people that walk in consistently have a voice. Do I think that there's places that they can probably edit and do stuff like that? Sure. Mm-hmm. But that's more of a personal take. But yeah, you're not about to set me up.
Okay, no shade.
You got no vocab that you feel like you want to just give them a little PSA, like, get back in the lab.
There's a lot of vocals that need to PSA, get back in the lab. I mean, like, it's a lot. I mean, I'm probably one of them both thumbs too, but shit. Both them, I don't know. Like, it's a lot of, like, I can't really say too much because
don't do it, friend.
They're gonna try to get
you still a stern statement.
Let me tell you because it's why I feel like I say, like, if we're gonna make ballroom great again, like, honestly, what built character for me in ballroom was, like, honestly that. Like, when I came to ballroom, it was still around the era of Blog Talk Radio, where the girls, like, get read for filth.
But it could also be kind of as a source of your trauma too. And I think
no, it's not trauma. Let me explain it. It's not, but because for me, it's like this. It's like, okay, take the difference between a child that was raised with a stern parental figure, and then a child that was allowed to get away kind of with murder.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that those two have to be the opposites of each other, but I mean, I get what you're saying, right? And so when I say that, right, this is again my community work, my advocacy work for us as Black people. I think as Black people, even when we come into ballroom, we bring a lot of that trauma with us, and we think that the let me beat my child first and let me give them tough love and all that, and then because we survived that, we start to hold that on our shoulders as if it's something to be proud and grateful of, right? So I use let's use our community in the way that we tell trans women, the world's gonna be rough for you and you got to be able to be ready. X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 right? And we consider that one form of love. But then you take someone like a Zaya Wade, who's been loved and affirmed by her family. She's been brought up around, having a voice and being visible. I don't think that she turned out to be a bad person. Tough love didn't have to make her into a strong person. Knowing that you have a good, loving core could also make you into a strong person.
All right, so let me make this point. We're going to switch gears. Let's talk about the Kiki scene. Because here's where your advocacy work goes to triggering me, why I go live so much, is because we are now in a culture where chopping is unheard of.
No, you should still chop.
And when people do get chopped, they are automatically affiliated with being shaded.
Yeah.
Where they're not able to honestly take criticism because they feel like it's too much or you being too harsh, but it's the truth.
No, I'm not necessarily not advocating for truth, right? I'm just not advocating that it has to be tough or we have to have this shade and reading and thick skin. Like, we don't have to make that an element of ballroom, right? Truth and honesty and critique of your artwork is one thing, but just being shady, I don't see it. It's not over. That doesn't do anybody any. It quote unquote makes us have tough skin, but how much of your life is now with walls up and not being able to be vulnerable and love, like as much violence and shit? Clearly the tough skin ain't working. Because if Gunner would have named out who he didn't like,
Now all those tough skin girls are like, well, you know the gun. I thought we would have tough skin, right? Because at the end of the day, I think we've learned to mask things that hurt us, and because we made it through it, we transfer that trauma onto other people. And I see a ballroom where we don't necessarily have to do that. We can still be highly competitive. I can still hold you to a standard. Bitch, the hemline is wrong and there's puckering, right? I can still hold you to that standard. It doesn't mean, here she go. You don't have to do that. And that's the part that maybe because of the way I was raised and I come to the ballroom from a different background and perspective and a loving family and both parents and all of that, I didn't come into it with this tough love, negativity, harsh. Like, it don't have to be that, baby. Yeah. The look wasn't on.
Well, I'm not saying that it has to necessarily like be tough love. I feel like the tug and pull between the two generations where they be trying to make it seem like there's just such this difference is that when I came in with the wave, it's like we came in understanding, I guess, the principle.
You came in under a good leader that made sure he told you when you did get chopped.
I came in not under Jrock.
Oh, because I do know that for the Gulf Coast, for Jrock, for leaders like that, to your point, what I would say with those kind of kids, the problem really starts at home. It don't even be their fault. It'd be their parents' fault. If I just went out there and did not bowl good, and I come to you and I'd be like, girl, she tried it. You supposed to be like, baby girl, go sit at the table. She didn't try it. But that's not what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are saying, yeah, don't worry about it. Because they know she wasn't tried, but they don't stop that right there. They say, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it later. They're not going to deal with it later because they know it's nothing to deal with. But now she takes that back to the table. Yeah, because see, father such and such told me that he going to deal with them later because of shade. No, that starts at home. My kids get chopped. Baby girl.
I feel like that's what leaders, that's just bad leaders, because every time, like, if I do bad or something like that, I go to Lil James, and that's the first person I go to. Like, what happened? He's going to tell me, like, no, they tried it. Or he's going to tell me, like, no, like, you tried it. Don't ever come
to your point, though, and to the point that we're talking about, right, this is the problem with that trauma. I think a lot of the leaders from my generation, the generation right after me, because of the trauma of the shade, right? The way that we have reacted to that trauma is sometimes to not tell our kids when it's not shade, right? We want them to feel affirmed in everything, and that's our fault, right? So now they're becoming products of us not being able to keep it real with them, trying to be too nice, that soft parenting shit, that be friends with it. I'm not saying you can't be stern and expect excellence, but I also don't understand too when children are getting chopped. How are we sending out so many people in our house that deserve to be chopped? Like, did the parents not review these looks? Like, are y'all telling them that they're a category that they not? Like, what's going on here? What is this race to have the most people in your house? Like, back when I came into ballroom, bitch, it used to be a thing. Even the house we saw as naughty houses. It was still a process. By the time you hit the floor, you needed to be ready to hit a floor. Now it's just like, let me send out 400 people. Half of them are gonna get chopped. I don't care because they're gonna knock out the other half. Like, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Like, you see a lot of girls come out there and they do lackluster. I'm like, how did you build yourself up to think that what you was about to bring us deserved for us to watch it? Like, you just made me sit through that? Are you serious? But because it's like, what family members? Who told you? Who took that little child's painting off the refrigerator and really told him you should be Picasso? No, that was your mama telling you this is a beautiful artwork. Let me put it on my refrigerator. I'm not gonna put it nowhere else. Right here. But now parents is like, let's take it off the refrigerator, and I want to make everyone else look this shit. No, we don't want that. I don't want these virgin categories at a mainstream ball. I'm not paying $75 to see unfinished talent. And I know that sounds bad and stuff like that, but that's the ballroom we came from. When I wanted to walk my first category, it was like, that's the legend, go tap her. It wasn't like stand in the back of the line, wait till they all battle, or go walk the virgin category first. But if I want to come out and be a singer today and I want to make money as a touring singer, which I already know I got to compete with Taylor Swift and Beyonce because they make the most money.
Right. That'd be the problem. Like, you be having the trainer wheels on too long. These people be in virgin for 2 years for what?
For what?
For what?
And population.
You're a virgin after the first, like, once the cherry is popped, you want 7 balls. You've been F'd 7 times. And you still claiming that your cervix is in place. No, bitch. You're not.
I want 2 balls and I was kicked out.
So we got no time.
That also brings us into 2 different scenes.
Right.
And how that, I think, is starting to play a role in that, too. Around the big head and the people that stay in the Kiki scene getting a little too much coddling to the point they come up to the mainstream, they don't get that coddling, so they run back over there and they take the pain from not getting coddled over here in the mainstream back over here and usurp and use that power because it's easier for them to be a big fish in a small pond than go through the work of being a small fish in a big pond and growing the fuck up. So you got a bunch of 30-plus-year-olds over in the Kiki scene running a scene that's meant for children. Like who? Like okay, you're top tier legend. You a legend over here for runway and mainstream, and you be walking legendary runway over here taking money out of kids' mouth. Like
That's late.
that's late. But we provide for that. Like that's why with the Naughty Karates, we're not having that.
So we're gonna move to our last segment. It's gonna be called Tens of Chops. We will just name our things randomly, and you're gonna either get it tens or you chopping it.
Okay.
You ready for it? It's like sporadically. So
I'm a chopper. I
okay,
like to chop.
you sure?
Oh, y'all know I don't mind.
All right, let's start it off. Ready? 10 inches.
Tens.
I'm 40 years old now, so it has to have some boundaries around it. Like husband dick, 10 inches?
No.
Oh, like a random one night, you full after the ball? 10. Wake up to it every day? No, ma'am. No.
Tens, like spitting in your mouth. Tens.
Absolutely 10s.
You're not chopping shit.
I thought this was gonna be a
Okay. Uncut.
Tens. I like uncut. It feel better.
I'm not yucking nobody.
I don't want Elmo.
It feel better.
Because there are a bunch you out there that are uncut and it was made no decision of theirs. So I don't want to penalize them for their parents being nasty.
But as long as you like clean right there, like a clean uncut, not dirty uncut.
Now, if you 10 inches and uncut, that helps with the friction. Because the uncut skin be moving when it's doing the ins and outs, so that kind of help with that.
That's it. It feel better.
But sucky.
Oh my god. Is it my turn? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I was caught up on.
Wait, so I'm gonna add 10 inches.
It's a chop for me.
It's a big 10.
Uncut.
It's a chop for me.
Damn, that's fucked up. You just
Spit in your mouth.
High 10.
Oh, but look, XaPariis, she's not looking. She don't want nothing.
I am looking. I'm just.
You look like walking in between a hard place. Like nothing.
No, I ain't gonna say that.
But you know, these girls grew up on Twitter. Like, their idea of sex is like gangbang, rough, like, ain't no slow dancing.
So I'm a firm believer of you know, maybe if I tried it, maybe, but I haven't experienced it.
you have to experience.
And it needs to be right, because then if it don't hit the first time, then I'm not gonna like it. But then what if I just had the wrong person?
Or what if you're scared that you are gonna like it and that's the issue?
That's not the issue. But
How do y'all feel about ballroom girls that do OnlyFans content?
They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Do y'all subscribe to it?
I don't subscribe to nobody OnlyFans.
See, I talk a lot about a lot of topics, and the girls would be thinking you're gonna just love to talk. But I just have 22 years of experience. I'm really trauma triggered by the OnlyFans. And I'll tell you why. So I'm one of the early girls who did original VHS porn. I did porn my junior year of college. And it was a big, painful experience in terms of when I came back. When I went and did it for like 6 months. By the time I came back to Ballroom, it was around everywhere. And I was whispered about, outcasted, you know, every bad thing can be said. Oh my God, he was this handsome boy that went to Morehouse. Now he's doing porn. He must be on drugs, blah, blah, blah. He ain't gonna be, people who didn't know me were making up stories and stuff about me, right? Cool. That tough skin you talking about, right? I got tough skin, I survived it. And I'm still traumatized by it. Then, so you fast forward to, I was in Escada for 10 years. So now I'm at a Milan house meeting. And I literally have people in the Milan meeting saying, we're going to let him in. He did porn. That's not the Milan brand, who now have done OnlyFans content. Right? So it's like, wait. So I was getting paid thousands of dollars doing something in a professional setting and everything. And that made me pariah. But you sitting here with your cell phone in the shower with 10 different boys every other day, putting it on sale for $9.99, and that makes you the girl. And then we're gonna rebrand and call it content creation. No, you're a porn star. You're a porno. You're a you're a sex worker, right? And so for me, it's when I say those things, I know it sounds like there's some trauma and shit, but I'm very pro sex work. I'm very pro autonomy over your body and making money off your body, brain, whatever you want. So there's a part of me that the majority of part feels that way, but there's still that little Rico Escada that's traumatized by the girls who tried it on my time and made the next few years of my ballroom career after that were really rough, really, really rough. But I stuck to it. So
Okay. Sugar and spaghetti.
10.
oh, absolutely. How you gonna tone down the tomato
I'm
sauce?
glad you said that. Catfish and spaghetti.
Absolutely. You don't have no fish fry without spaghetti.
What you mean? You're from the Midwest.
I don't like
chopping.
fish. You should have said
You
chicken.
don't like fish.
Oh, you're a real guy.
Chicken and spaghetti?
Yes.
It's catfish.
Eggs and
spaghetti.
tuna.
Chop.
Eggs in
I don't
tuna.
like tuna or eggs.
Bitch.
It's 10
You're a
for
real
you.
guy.
I don't
It's
like
10.
tuna. I don't like tuna.
They knew.
One chop.
He knew.
Dark skin or dark skinned men?
Absolutely.
10. Light skinned men?
Yeah.
Film queens.
One chop.
Hold on. In what way?
One chop. This is not happening.
Depends on the film queen.
Drag queens.
Depends on when they
It's
do
like
drag.
half and half. It's like one chop for real, but it might be 10.
Depends on depends on the kind of drag and when they do the drag.
More is chopstick.
Like, are you like, I'm only at the balls drag.
Oh, yeah.
Or like if we go to the
It's a lot
grocery
of
store, do you want to
different
get up
drags.
in?
You right.
I can't be with you if you want to get up into the grocery store. If you're at the ball, then
Yeah, like,
I'm with you.
yeah, those type of drags I can't do.
What?
Like, but like if you just go and get up in at the ball and then
Don't bother
right
me.
after the ball, ready to get out, cool. I don't have no problem because I'm an old drag queen.
for you, drags.
Love them.
Drag on drag girl action?
Not in
like-
drag.
Wait, did y'all be in? When y'all
See, I'm not that type of drag.
Would you do it though?
I would not. I'm not that.
Okay,
type
so
of
after
drag.
y'all do it, do y'all exchange? Like, how does this work when there's two drags in one room? Like, yo, take this, yeah, and then y'all get up like, so girl, so how does that sound?
No,
Like, how does that work?
It don't give that. Like again, like
Because I like both films, but we don't be like in our what's the name?
yeah, like
Get a lot of effects. I do want to do that one time, like me and another both film getting our effects in half. Like that's gonna be that one.
Nah, y'all
oh my god.
wrap it up.
Yeah, so we've enjoyed y'all. This has been an amazing conversation. We definitely have y'all back for the family reunion. So get ready for that. Is there any closing remarks that you'd like to leave with the cousins?
We need a part 2 because we didn't get us everything that we need to get.
Yeah, this is why we need a series. You said about Ballroom, we didn't really touch on hardly nothing. But no, just shout out to the Gulf Coast. I love the Gulf Coast. You know, people who move to new areas, make sure you we that area and don't they that area. Otherwise, sit down. Oh, our social media
And what's your
stuff?
social media platform?
Oh, you can find me on my social media. I got 47 Facebook profiles. You can just type the word Gunner, G-N-N-E-R or G-N-N-A. I am the Gunner Doyle on Instagram. I am the Gunner Doyle on TikTok. I am also on... Huh?
You got a TikTok?
Yeah, I got a TikTok. My TikTok be jumping, baby. I'm monetized over there. That's where y'all really need to go. If y'all think y'all making money on Bigo, run the TikTok. They got the coins.
Okay. Where can they find you?
Amor Lux on Facebook. Only have one profile, and the other profile is fake.
The girl be doing jazz. Statements. I got one profile.
Instagram _, follow my trail. _ follow my trail. Twitter _ follow my trail.
Is it
OnlyFans?
my trail?
X.
My trail.
My trail.
Yeah. TikTok, Amor Lux, Jack. I'm talking stuff. I'm talking shit.
He's 0.66 miles away.
I'm talking stuff.
Well,
But I love the Gulf Coast. Y'all are amazing. I think y'all have some of the best talent out here. I'll be rooting for y'all when y'all be at other balls, even though y'all might think I'm not. But
No, shout out for real to the Gulf Coast. Because, bitch, when I say y'all came through the Tisci function, I said, yes, my babies is here. See, I'm one of those icons that wherever I live I consider myself as an icon of the ballroom scene in general.
Mm-hmm.
But when I live in a place, like, I want to pour into that place. And then being now in the Gulf Coast, which is like, to me, one of the last, like, kind of underdeveloped and undertapped scenes, to see y'all really just come out and stuff like that and be at big balls and travel. I think I saw y'all was doing caravans and stuff. I was like, come on, bitch. I like a...
Yeah.
Because I'm a country Nashville bitch. It's the country bitches that really always turn ballroom. It's
Yeah.
not the big city girls. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
It's that untapped talent. It's that country bumpkin that didn't have no other place to show her talents, and now she here.
Nebraska.
There you go.
Let's wrap this up.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in for this week's episode of Like We're in the House. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell at the top of the screen so that you're notified every time we post new content. All right, well, until next time.
Bye.
Mayball ring.
So what you think of having for the presidential debate?
I mean,